And you know Lux is coming for several reasons. First of all, the Dodgers have a history of calling up September prospects. We can go way back to the 70s when a rookie pitcher named Bob Welch, remember him? And I'm not talking about the singer who sang Sentimental Lady, for you guys who are music buffs like me. I'm talking about the right-handed pitcher who went on to win 27 games later in his career for the Oakland Athletics. The late Bob Welch was a flame-throwing rookie who made the difference in the Dodgers winning the National League West in 1978. But recently, I don't have to go back that far. Recently, Corey Seager, remember him? The current Dodger shortstop, came up in September 2015. Walker Buehler, remember him? Made his Major League debut as a reliever in September 2017. And remember, catcher Will Smith came up last year. Chappie says he lost me. Am I back with you now, Chappie? Let me know. I'm talking whether I'm with you or not, so I hope I'm with you. Now, Lux is a natural shortstop, but he has played second base. And I watched Muncy play second base over the weekend against the Dodgers, and Muncy may be a lot of things, but a second baseman, he is not. Hernandez can't hit. They've platooned. Taylor's been part of it. But do you really feel great about the defense of Muncy? Do you really feel good about the offense of Hernandez or Taylor? And I'm always remembering this guy. I just can't forget. The Mets call up a rookie in 1988, and he just absolutely kills the National League for a month. The best month of his career. Lux is on his way. It would be so easy to say, we're not calling him up. He's not going to play. They won't do that. Now, Jack Youngblood in the chat room says the Dodgers making no moves at the deadline will hurt them. I think the problem with the Dodgers at the deadline was not getting a relief pitcher, a closer. I don't know that the Dodgers starting pitching, watching them against the Yankees this weekend in Los Angeles, overly impressed me. What we didn't see this weekend, we didn't see Walker Buehler. We did see Ryu, who needs a rest. The Yankees need to do to Ryu the Dodgers need to do to Ryu what the Yankees did to their starting pitcher. Herman, who leads the major leagues in wins now at 17. In July, the Yankees shut him down for a couple of weeks. Ryu needs to be done the same way by Los Angeles. Shut him down now. Let him not pitch for a couple of weeks. Bring him back mid-September. It would do a body good. I'm telling you. Speaking of the Dodgers, Justin Turner, 8 home runs in the month of August. And rookie pitcher Dustin May, who pitched last night. But his ERA in the 6th inning, it's been a short career so far, I know that. But his 6th inning ERA sits at 24. He has an opponent's average against him in the 6th inning of .563 and OPS by opponents against May in the 6th inning 1.400. What does that tell you? That tells you it makes sense that the Dodgers are going to use May as a bullpen arm in the playoffs, not as a starter. Now, going forward after 2019, I'm sure they want him to be a starter. And I'm not sure if it's second time through the order, or third time through the order, or just fatigue, or a combination. but I do know the numbers are what the numbers are. If you don't believe me, check it out. A 24 ERA. No, you don't get this on Yahoo. You only get it either with Arnie's Fantasy World of Sports, Phil Chaplin on Sports, or somewhere on Lenny Melnick, FantasySports.com. That's why this network is the Fantasy Baseball Network. Right? Dustin May will be a good arm out of the pen, but that's it. Dodgers are hesitant to let him go far. You don't let a 24 ERA go far. Let's talk about the final game of the night. The Yankees in Seattle. Have you driven a Ford lately? How about Mike Ford? 2 for 4 last night with 2 home runs. He now has 8 on the year. He hit one in the second off Tommy Malone, who is a gas igniter if there's ever been one. And the 4th inning again off Malone. Now that was a lefty on lefty. Again, Malone throws a fastball like I do. Not very much. LeMahieu got 2 more hits. He's hitting .332 on the year. But I want to talk about Yankee second baseman and last night cleanup hitter Gleyber Torres for just a moment. And again, Phil Chaplin, here's stuff you don't get on Yahoo, but you get it here. Gleyber hit his 13th home run in the month of August last night. Only 2 Yankees in Yankee history have hit more home runs in the month of August than Gleyber Torres. Tell me who they are. Chat room. Only 2 Yankees in the month of August have hit more home runs in their history than Gleyber Torres. 13 this year. Tell me who they are. If you want bonus points, tell me the year they did it and how many they hit. Fair enough? And while I'm on a roll here with trivia questions, tell me since 2014 which Major League Baseball player who is still currently playing leads all third basemen in wins above replacement. WAR. Since 2014, which Major League third baseman leads all Major League third basemen in wins above replacement? Phil Chaplin says Gleyber is why McNeil can't find the field on my team. Chaplin, you must be loaded over there. You can't play McNeil because of Galvis. You can't play McNeil because of Gleyber. Sounds to me like McNeil could have been traded for a pitcher or an outfielder or somebody, because you're loaded, buddy. Now answer my questions. Give me the 2 Yankees who've hit more home runs in the month of August in the Yankee history than Gleyber Torres is 13 this year. And second, tell me which third baseman leads all Major League third basemen in WAR, wins above replacement, since 2014. I got you going this morning. So, did you read, do you know about the Trevor Bauer quotes? Let me get my notes right here, okay? All right, so Trevor Bauer, as you know, traded at the trade deadline from Cleveland to Cincinnati, said this yesterday. It was very easy coming in. Everyone did a great job. The information here is great. The coaching staff here is great. Overall, I'm a lot happier here than I was in Cleveland. Overall, I don't miss a lot about Cleveland. Trevor Bauer. Go out and pitch and quit trying to be an orator. Why does he even have to say these things? Okay, first of all, if he's going to throw Cleveland under the bus, he'll probably throw Cincinnati under the bus at some point too. And the way he's been pitching lately, he needs to pitch better and talk less. August 14th at Washington, 4 1/3 innings, 9 earned runs. August 25th, day before yesterday, at Pittsburgh. Not exactly Murderer's Row 2019. 3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, only 2 strikeouts. He's 10-11 with a 4.39 ERA and a 1.27 WHIP. And I know Andrea loves him. And I'm not a downer. I'm just saying, focus more on your on-the-field play and less about what went on in Cleveland, especially now that you're gone. I just don't see that as a big morale builder in Cincinnati either. You know, Bauer's, let's say it this way. Would you say Trevor Bauer is a very unique player? Quirky? Let's stop there. Outspoken? We'll stop there. But he's not pitching this year to the caliber that we are accustomed to him pitching. And he needs to get back to pitching, focus more on himself and what he's doing on the field, and less about what went on in Cleveland. I've had no answers to my questions. Nobody has answered. Okay, Jack Youngblood. Okay, I did have questions. I had Chaplin say Reggie and Judge. Wrong. Jack Youngblood said Ruth and Mantle. Part right. Ruth, 1929, 15 home runs in the month of August. The other, Joe D. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio? Because in August of 1939, Joe D. hit 14 home runs. So how would you like to be included in the same paragraph? Who are the top 3 hitters in Yankee history with the most home runs in the month of August? And you start naming Babe Ruth, Joe DiMaggio, and then Gleyber Torres. Gleyber, by the way, has 33 homers. I was talking bad about him a few weeks ago because so many home runs had come against Baltimore, but now he's heating up against other teams. This is just his second year in the major leagues, guys. Over 25 home runs. Last year, he's going to be sitting over 60 after 2 years of home runs in the major leagues. Not a bad opening act for a Yankee second baseman. Not bad at all. My other question, I didn't get any answers on. Which third baseman leads the major leagues and wins above replacement since 2014? I'll save that answer after I go over some more of my nuggets for today. So if you're a daily fantasy player, it's a great show. I'm loving this today. How about it, chat room? Let's talk about who's in the chat room. Andrea, Clarona Cyclonus, Doug Boyle, DeVic DeBizzle, Jack Youngblood, Phil Chaplin, Timothy Hooker. Where is everybody this morning? But it's not Rendon. Good guess. Good guess, but not Rendon. 2014, since 2014, best wins above replacement among all third basemen in Major League Baseball. So let's talk about daily fantasy. If you're picking up players today, I'm looking at stats. Jonathan Villar versus Corbin. Baltimore playing Washington. Villar against Patrick Corbin is 7 for 13 in his career. That's a 5.38 average. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Melky Cabrera, 3 for 9, but he does have a walk. That's why I'll include it because he's had 10 at bats. 3 hits there. Carlos Santana, 3 for 10 in his career off Spencer Turnbull. In that White Sox Twin game, Ryan Goins, there's you a cheap player today in daily. Against Pineda, he's 7 for 17. That's a 4.12 average. For the White Sox, Yolmer Sanchez, also for the White Sox, 3 for 10. Twin batters against Giolito. Max Kepler, 6 for 16. That's a 3.75 average. Nelly Cruz, 4 for 9 with 3 home runs. I know he's one at bat short, but let's just say he struck out that other at bat and he was 4 for 10. He's got 3 home runs off of him. I like that player. Houston and Tampa. Martin Maldonado for Houston against Charlie Morton. At the catcher position, he's 7 for 13. A 5.38 average against Charlie Morton. Daniel Murphy, 5 hits and 9 at bats. 1 short, but you got to count it. In the Boston and Colorado game. Arizona and the Giants. Here you go. Leak pitching today for Arizona. You got 3 giant players to look at in daily fantasy. Brandon Belt, 8 for 21 with 2 homers, a 381 average off of Leak. Brandon Crawford, I told you we'd come back to him later when I started the show. 9 for 28 off Mike Leake with 2 homers. That's a 321 average. And Buster Posey, 8 for 25 with a homer off of Mike Leake, a 320 average. For Arizona against Jeff Samardzija, Jake Lamb, 7 for 20, 2 home runs, batting .350 in his career off Samardzija. Ketel Marte, 6 for 17 with a homer. That's the .353 average. And Nick Ahmed, and I saw earlier where Andre had mentioned him in the chat room before we started the show. He might cool off. Well, he might, but he's 4 for 12 in his career off Samardzija. That's a .333 average, and one of those was a long ball. Texas and the Angels. Elvis Andrus is 7 for 20 in his career off Andrew Heaney. For the Angels, against Texas starter today, Fletcher versus Mike Minor, 7 for 17. That's a .412 average. Cole Calhoun is 4 for 12. And Mike Trout, 5 for 19. So those are some people to look for in daily fantasy today that I highly endorse on your fantasy team. I love the Oakland A lineup today in daily fantasy. I don't care who's pitching for Kansas City. Just make sure the A's are starting, and if you can get them, I would load up with Oakland A's. They're just hitting right now, and hitting's contagious. It's an attitude, and Oakland's wearing it well. A few nuggets to go away with today. Alberto Mondesi, he's going to be back Sunday. He may have been cut in some of your leagues. He may have been on waivers. I know you astute guys out there. You've already been picking him up probably, but he's going to be back. There's some stolen bases. There's some RBIs. There's some runs scored. Brendan McKay was placed on the 7-day IL with shoulder fatigue. Probably done. Fantasy relevancy for 2019. Jay Bruce set to return Sunday for Philadelphia. Danny Duffy is going to be starting this week, either Friday or Saturday for Kansas City against the Orioles. Brandon Nimmo expected back later this week, starting for the Mets. And finally, Severino and Betances, both are to play and pitch in simulated games today for the Yankees, with the expectation that both can be back, probably Betances next week, Severino in 2 weeks. And I said this before yesterday, I just see Severino building arm strength up so that by playoff time he is a starter. Now they may use him in the bullpen during the regular season, but by playoff time, if Severino is healthy and his body is well, is there a better starting pitcher in the Yankee rotation than Luis Severino? I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Let's take a look real quick at our schedule today, our lineup. So obviously I'm not coming back on at 10 because I'm on at 9. So it looks like Trophy Town is on at 12. If anyone wants to pop in and have some factoids for us between now and then, that'd be a great idea. But Trophy Town on at 12. Money won twice as nice at 5:30. Schedule has me on at 6. Chappie's Fantasy Chat on at 7. Chappie, if you want to give me a little heads up on what I can talk about, what you're going to be talking about. I got a feeling it's going to be some NFL football, fantasy football tonight from Chaplin. Yep, I'm right. I guessed right as he's typing it. And so he's talking wide receivers at 7. That'll be a great show. I made notes last week on your show, Chaplin, so I'm there. I may be going to a minor league game tonight. Our minor league season has kicked in, championship time, and we've got a really good team here near me. The Down East Wood Ducks. Check them out. Their record. It's like the best record the team has ever had in team history. I'm going to try, though, Chaplin, even if I go, to be back by 9. How about that? So that's your schedule for today. It looks like a great night for Fantasy Chat, a great night for Major League Baseball. Thank you for being with me this morning. Have a great day from Arnie. in Arnie's fantasy world of sports.